fun at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. See the largest antelope on Earth, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on Earth, the African warthog. There's so much to see and do, including the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals. See live educational shows. Feel the excitement. Have your picture taken with a python or cockatoo. Feel the adventure. Shop the Simba Lodge gift shop with items available from around the globe. Visit the snack bar or picnic facilities. Enjoy a pony or camel ride. Or cheer your favorite porker on to victory in the famous Pork Chop Down. Bring your family to see the rare and exotic animals at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Just take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the sign. Only 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
Tonight, I just wanna take you higher. Throw your hands up in the sky. Let's set this party alright. Players, put your pinky rings up.
All right, welcome back to the Balance. My name is Tom Marcos, El Presidente. Thank you so much for Tony Donahue, the Tony D podcast, joining us to talk a little bit of college football and NFL. Rick Riggen not going to be able to join us today, but joining us also is Adam Jividen, a Super Browns fan and a Super Buckeyes fan. Adam, happy Thanksgiving weekend to you, sir.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, Tom. How you doing, buddy?
Woo-hoo! I'm great, man. Did you get enough? Did you get enough turkey and stuffing? Do you have plenty of leftovers?
Leftovers, yes. I probably ate too much, but I worked out this morning, so we'll get back on plan. Hopefully soon.
You're doing the CrossFit thing, right?
Yeah, on Saturdays.
Wow, look at you rocking and rolling. I tell you what, man, there's something about it, just a leftover turkey sandwich, some mayo, some cheese, just to go with, man. And I tell you what, yesterday was Black Friday. I didn't do anything. I stayed at home, did a little binging. Because you know what? You can do your Black Friday shopping if you need to be at home with your laptop. You don't need to stand in line at Target at 6 a.m. I guess it's just the rush, the adrenaline, the fear of getting trampled. So I didn't really indulge in the Black Friday thing. Is that something you guys do?
I used to when they didn't do all the Black Friday deals online, but I actually had I didn't get a whole lot. I just got like a handful of movies, a couple things for the house from Best Buy on when did I get it done? Thursday at about 7 p.m. after we got home from Thanksgiving dinner and just kind of chilling out, and hopped on the computer, got my order ready in about 10 minutes. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Just add to cart and hit pay. Well, here's another thing that I was able to do over this Thanksgiving weekend. I have finished all the Star Wars movies. I'm a fan of Rey. Rey's a badass. I think that she's might be headed toward the dark side. What are your thoughts?
Well, Tom, you're entering a new era of fandom that I've liked since I was like 5. I think old people.
I know I'm late
to
the game. I know I'm late to the game.
Longer time fans don't like Rey as much, primarily just because like the last movie left a lot to be desired. But depending on how they finish it, with this one coming out next month, it could be redeemed. My favorite, and I gave you my order. Empire Strikes Back is the best one. The second best one is Rogue One. And then there's a big like jumble in the middle. between like A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. And then way down at the bottom is episode 1.
Is what?
So,
way down at the bottom is
episode
what?
1. Episode 1.
Oh, see, I get them all confused. I know exactly.
Phantom Menace. It's
Phantom Menace. Okay.
Coolest
well,
fact,
Rogue One.
Darth Maul is awesome, but yeah.
Well, Rogue One, the way I understand it, wasn't part of the order of movies. So, actually, Rogue One is what I'm going to watch next. So that's what I was told by
Rogue
somebody.
Rogue One is fantastic. It's basically a Star Wars spy movie.
All right, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. And here's the thing. And me and my friend Melissa were watching it, and we've kind of got the theory here that they're going to have to tie the loop here because they say this is the final movie. And does this mean that they're calling it the rise of Skywalker? But does Rey come back and fill that gap? Is Rey on the dark side? Like you said, they can either make it or blow it. And we know what happened with Game of Thrones when Disney or ABC or whoever it was that took it over decided that they were going to go their own way with it. So we'll see what happens.
Well, that was just HBO differing from the books. But yeah, I think how it's going to end is you're going to have both Kylo Ren and Rey end up on the good side. And then, and this isn't the last Star Wars movie. This is just the end of what they're calling the Skywalker saga. So they're going to expand a lot of the other universe. So doing more things like The Mandalorian, doing a Boba Fett movie. They did the Solo movie, Rogue One. But there's a lot more in that Star Wars extended universe that they can do. This is just going to be the last thing kind of set around what we know as the Skywalkers. From Anakin to Luke and then Luke's protege.
So much to know, so much to learn. But hey, I feel accomplished at least getting through the movies and knowing the characters and so I have to say that I was not a diehard fan per se, but watching these movies has certainly brought me into the loop somewhat. I'm late to the game. I get it. But hey, let's move on to some other games happening in a galaxy so close to us. Let's start with IU and Purdue in West Lafayette, the old Oak and Bucket game for the first time since 1993. We could be talking about IU winning 8 games, and when they get to the bowl game, if they win that game, they could win 9 games. We've not had that conversation in a long time. What are your thoughts about IU and Purdue?
I think IU wins handily. This is the best IU squad they've had in like 20-some years. They play a really, really good defense, and their offense is doing well. And they've even done well in spite of Penix getting hurt. But Purdue's just way too banged up. They're on their third quarterback. Rondale Moore's out. They're kind of a shell of a team, and those are the kind of teams that they can't survive a lot of injuries. I mean, and stay competitive. I think you see IU take this game handily. I could see a 2 or even 3 score game. The elements today, I think, are going to keep scores a little low because it's this kind of misty rain. But I still think you see IU win in convincing fashion. And what I'm looking forward to is I want to see IU take on one of these garbage offensive SEC teams and beat them. How awesome would it be to see IU take on like an Auburn or a Florida and win?
It would be. Well, and that's we have that conversation, which I've never been a big. The thing about the strength of schedule in college football just drives me insane because you have the same schools playing in March as you do in November, playing basketball, I should say, in March Madness, we don't have that issue. Now, yes, we can talk about the extension of the playoff teams and that sort of stuff, but still, it doesn't really matter if you extend the playoff teams to 6 or to 8. The conversation is always going to be, well, the reason why your team didn't get in is because of strength of schedule. It's the only sport that just so drives me insane. But I think they rigged that up because they don't want an IU playing in Auburn. They don't want an IU playing in Alabama. They want to keep control and tight reins on it. But speaking of strength of schedule, and I know it's a big if, and I'm not an Ohio State hater per se. I know that you are definitely not an Ohio State hater. You got a big game against Michigan. You shouldn't fall asleep against Michigan. At the beginning of the season, we were saying, well, Michigan's going to be a mediocre team. Jim Harbaugh's on the hot seat. But as we talked about earlier, you are defined. If you're a Michigan coach, you are defined how you play Michigan, and how you play Ohio State. If Michigan can find a way to win, that's going to bring into conversation anyway, not reality per se, but it's going to bring into conversation of Ohio State remaining in the playoffs, again, going back to strength of schedule. So the game of the week that everybody's talking about, Ohio State, Michigan, I know that's what is on your mind. What say you, sir? Break it down for us.
Well, I think, as I mentioned, I think the elements are going to play a hand in this. It's actually, in my opinion, so Ohio State played really bad weather game against Wisconsin, and then last week against Penn State, the rain started a little right around the end of the second quarter. It actually just started raining when Justin Fields had that fumble on the 1-yard line. Think about this. Ohio State last week played Penn State, who was ranked 8th. We had 3 fumbles that cost 17 points because we had the Justin Fields fumble at the 1. There was another fumble at their 19 on our 19, that made that the defense actually held and they kicked a field goal, and then they had a third fumble at about the 38 that they punched in for a touchdown. That is 17-point swing, and we still beat them by 11. And that's the same Penn State team that beat Michigan. I get that I said all along, I thought this Michigan team, I thought that the fact that they played Notre Dame in a monsoon helped them tremendously because Ian Book doesn't have the arm strength to get it downfield. And then on top of that, the only 2 games that they've played with good teams, they've lost, and kind of lost convincingly. I'm still not sold on this Michigan team. My question is who's going to block Chase Young? And if you double team Chase Young, then who's going to guard Devon Hamilton? Who's going to cover B.B. Landers? Who's going to cover Jonathan Cooper? Might be playing. He might be saving his last game because he's going to redshirt this year, but he's got 1 game that he can play. But who's going to cover Tyreek Smith? And then if you can even get past the pass rush, I don't even know if their receivers can get open on Damon Arnett and Jeffrey Okudah, and nobody has run the ball in this Ohio State defense all season. Not even Jonathan Taylor. Nobody. And now you're telling me that Michigan's set of average running backs is going to run the ball? No. I don't see how Michigan can move the ball at all on this Ohio State defense. I have watched every single Ohio State game since I was 5 years old. I have seen great players come through the program. Andy Katzenmoyer, A.J. Hawk, Mike Doss. The slew of number 1 picks, first-round draft picks into the NFL. There has never been, and this includes the 2002 National Championship team, Tom, that beat Miami when everybody thought Miami was unstoppable. There is not a defense that Ohio State has fielded in my lifetime that is this good. Because every team that we've had has had some sort of weakness or an area that you could pinpoint. You go, that's where I'm going to attack. That has yet through 11 games. There hasn't been one. Now, could there be some wrinkle? Yeah, but I'm not going to count on Jim Harbaugh to find it. If we were having a game plan, or if we were having a month, if Oklahoma had a month to game plan, I would go, okay, they may be